Hello, welcome. This is a word of advice. We're still here fighting the good fight of faith. We're so happy today we have so many of my friends joining us here doing this broadcast in the background. And we hope one day we may give them an opportunity to get in front of the camera to say hello to you. But until then, we want to just thank them so much for lending their moral support. I want to give a great big shout out also to our great friend, Sergeant Major retired James Mill Hawkins and his beautiful wife, Odessa Hawkins, who contacted us and wrote us this week and provided encouragement for us. And we'll put them on the prayer list and thank God for them. We also want to give a shout out to our good friends. I won't reveal their names at this time, but one young lady, I've been knowing her since she was a small baby in my arms. And she's now grown up to be in high school and has a part-time job and moving in the right direction, but contacted me recently to advise me that she was experiencing bullying in the high school. And we're going to pray for her, but also provides confirmation and direction we believe the Spirit is leading us, because this month is National Bullying Prevention Month. And we want to be about our Father's business and provide our campaign to stomp out bullying. We want to end the hate and change the culture. We also want to let you know that if you're going through bullying or having challenges or just being mistreated, we want you to take this contact information. It is a chat line that you can get in contact with professionals, that you can have support. That is stompoutbullying.org. That's Stomp Out Bullying, one word, lowercase, .org is the contact information that will put you in line with someone that can help. Speaking of that, we want to present a young man who now plays for the New York Jets football team. Now, I don't think New York Jets are at the top of the stats right now, but he is Mr. Jonotthan Harrison. He is the Out Bullying Global Ambassador, and we want to hear from him right now. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, it's Jonotthan Harrison of the New York Jets. I was a victim of bullying throughout my entire childhood. To look at me, you wouldn't think I was bullied, but growing up as an overweight band nerd, I was an easy target. The daily harassment I endured helped shape me to become who I am today. It taught me to keep my head up and not worry about what others thought of me. My mom was always there to help me get through it, especially when I got home and I couldn't keep the tears back. I always told myself not to let them see how it affected me, but at times this was really difficult. Kids have so much more to deal with today. Bullying is bad enough, but cyberbullying is 24/7, and at times keeping bullies completely anonymous. No one deserves to be bullied. Today, I'm proud to be a global ambassador for Stomp Out Bullying. I've had the privilege of speaking to kids in schools about my experience being bullied and the importance of being kind to one another. I want to help kids feel empowered to stand up to bullies and know that there are people that support them. To everyone feeling alone and who is a victim of bullying, don't let them get to you. Keep pushing through because you are an important person. Reach out to your peers. You are never in this alone, and there are always people who will stand up for you. It's time to stomp out bullying, and that starts with you. Learn more at stompoutbullying.org.
Thank you so much. We want to give a big thanks to Mr. Jonotthan Harrison for providing us that public service announcement that will bring attention to Stomp Out Bullying. You know, Stomp Out Bullying works aggressively to prevent issues like picking on folks, cyberbullying, these type of things from happening, and helps those that are affected by it. We as adults must also empower the victims and help change the behavior of the bullies. Schools must react swiftly and redirect negative behavior into positive and productive solutions. Bystanders who witness the assaults, harassment, and threats must not remain silent. They must stand up for victims. Parents must teach their kids and teens kindness, compassion, and respect. And schools must do the same. Our kids and teens need to know that they are valued and protected. You can help me in this cause by getting the word out. Share this video, like it, lend it to other folks that it may be a help to. So we want to say thank you so much. Right now, by special request, we want to offer again the song that we played just in our previous broadcast. It is a song produced by Mantis. It's called What Becomes of the Broken Hearted. Thank you so much. You know, I'm so elated that so many have told me they have enjoyed that song. But we want to dedicate it again to all of the young people, the teens that have been cyberbullied, you know, where they go in schools and so forth, or just mistreated. Thank you so much. Now, listen, this is not only National Bullying Prevention Month, it is also National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And to bring us some insights on that is one of the two very fine pastors and some of the greatest people I know. This is Reverend Francoise Crowell to bring us more information concerning this matter.
Hello, I'm Francoise Crowell, here to speak to you a little bit about National Domestic Violence and Abuse Month. This is a subject that is also near and dear to my heart because I work with people who are dealing with it or have dealt with it, and as a result, they're either having extra challenges in life or they have been unable to move forward as they should. I too have been a victim of domestic violence abuse. I think the first thing that we need to do is understand that those who are victims of domestic violence don't come in a particular type. They're not weak women, they're not weak men, because yes, men are abused domestically as well, even though we don't speak about it. They're not older women, they're not younger women. Some of them are teens. And you have to know what that looks like. Many times, for the person in the situation, they believe in their minds that it is love, whether it be they saw their mothers treated in that way, their sisters, their aunts, or somebody close to them, or even their fathers. For some people, what is not normal to other people is normal to them, so they don't understand that this cycle is incorrect. Many times, especially within the African American community, we use language that other cultures and communities think is violent or think is disrespectful. So if you shift that and then you'll learn to better understand why some people stay in situations which look to be abnormal to others. Why am I giving you this introduction? Because so many times we are unavailable to help people, unavailable to be sympathetic or empathetic towards people, because we've already cast a judgment upon them. We've already called them stupid. We've already said what we wouldn't do. Well, you wouldn't do it because you're not in the situation. There's so many people that are close to you that are dealing with domestic violence, and sometimes we don't even acknowledge it because we say, that's just the way they communicate. That's their relationship. It's none of our business, until they end up dead or in the hospital with broken bones. It takes a lot to admit, hey, this is not right for me, but many people don't have a place to go. Many people don't have somebody who truly understands, because if I come to you and I tell you that somebody is knocking my head off at night, your first reaction will be, well, leave. How much sense does that make? What if I have 3 young children? What if I've never held a job and that person that is abusing me is the one who takes care of all the bills? How easy is it for me to leave? I know in one of my situations, the individual was a little off. And he held a gun to not just my head, but my child's head, and threatened the rest of my family. So I had to act in the moment as a mother, as a daughter, and as myself to figure out what was the best route of escape for me. This individual used to stalk my job, used to ride around my friend's house when I finally did leave. So it's not always the safest route just to leave. So you have to take these things into consideration when you're talking about people that are dealing with domestic abuse. I also want to touch a little bit on men that are being abused domestically, because it's a big thing, especially within the African American community, because men already have so many things over them. They can't be weak, they can't cry, they can't show emotion, they can't do this and they can't do that. Think now of how much harder it is for them to say, hey, yo, my girlfriend, my wife is beating me. My significant other is taking punches. I don't want to go home. I get drunk or I get high because, man, I got to go home and deal with this. But I got to be a man, so I can't talk to anybody about it. We got children. I got to stay in this situation. These are the types of things that are plaguing our community that remain silent. And the church doesn't want to talk about it because we got submission, we got this, we got that, and all we want to do is pray about it. Well, we have to pray about it, but faith without works is dead. So where's your corresponding action to that prayer? Where's your reaching out a hand? Where's your non-judgment zone? Where's your counseling? Where is your extensive counseling? To where maybe that couple can make it through that domestic violence situation. If the man is counseled from a point of view that this is not right, but let's work on your emotional issues. Let's work on how you got here. Why is it okay for you to put your hands on this woman? Let's work from the perspective of, young lady, Why are you putting your hands on anybody? Because if that young man puts his hands on you, then the first thing you're going to say is, he shouldn't be putting his hands on me because he's a man. Why is it that your reaction, even if in nonviolent situations, is violence? These are conversations that we don't want to talk about. These are conversations that we don't want to have because they're uncomfortable. They don't belong in the church. You should handle those things behind private doors, or there's organizations to deal with that. Well, let's get real about the organizations. They don't have the proper funding. They don't have the experienced personnel. Because let's get real, the helping fields are one of the least paid fields, just like teachers and police officers. So I know I'm getting a little excited, but I think that sometimes to begin to deal with something, you got to properly assess where you are and your views on it. And so often, more often than not, I hear people say, well, it doesn't make sense. Love doesn't hurt. You're right, it doesn't hurt. But if you don't know what true love is, if you don't know agape love, if you don't know that love is peace and joy and all of those things, then love may be a gift. And many people who get beat up are going to get a gift the next day. Many people, it's affection. Many people who get their hands put on, they're embraced the next day. Some men and women get on their knees and cry and beg and say, I can't live without you. You complete me. If you leave me right now, I don't know where I'm going to go. And if you're emotionally tied to that individual and you have a heart of love, your heart is going to break right then, because the first thing that comes to your mind is what you're going to do to that individual is much worse than what's being done to you. You would be surprised how many people say, I can heal from a bruise or a cut, but I don't know if I can heal if he or she leaves me. I don't know if I can heal if he or she commits suicide, which is what many say that they're going to do. So my plea to you today would be, what can you do? How can you help? How can you be a source of comfort for someone, even if you just suspect it? You don't have to come out and tell them that they're valuable. Tell them that they're worthy. Tell them that you are here for them. Take them out to eat. Ask them what's going on in their life. You don't have to get personal. You don't have to get nosy. And then find resources. Well, I have an extra room. Or I know somebody that has an extra room. Or this great apartment that you might like. Help them escape. Don't just tell them they need to. And then make sure that they have an adequate support system in place, because they can't run to the authorities.
Thank you, Reverend Crowell. I always appreciate you and what you bring to this particular video. Hey, listen, that's all the time I have left to bring you this presentation of a word of advice. I hope and trust with all my heart that you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Until this time, next time, you pray for me, I'll pray for you. Always remember this: two thoughts cannot occupy the mind at the same time. So the choice is ours as to whether our thoughts will be constructive or destructive. Have a beautiful and blessed day is my prayer for